Peg and Des on
Breaking Bad.
All right, lots to get to. Big episode 5, Tahaja Lee. We are getting down to the wire here with Breaking Bad. Before we get started, I just want to remind you guys to subscribe to our channel. Give us a thumbs up if you like this video and all our other videos. And,
all right, let's get started.
all right.
So we have the cold opening, and we see Todd, Lydia discussing the quality of the product. The quality is back up, but the color is gone. And Lydia's like, where's my blue magic?
Right, and you know, everyone tries to convince themselves it's blue. It's not blue.
It's aquamarine.
Yes. And well, I think the most important part of the scene, honestly, is we know that there's a quality issue, but also we find out that Todd has himself a little crush on Lydia.
Yes, which he demonstrates by rubbing the edge of the mug with her lipstick print, which is really, really creepy.
It was creepy. It was creepy.
Yes.
And it's the same moment when Walt calls Todd and says, look, I have a job for your uncle. I need to get rid of Jesse Pinkman.
Walt is as sloppy as can be on the telephone. I mean, this is really out of control. Hi, this is Walter White. I'm calling inquiring about a killing I'd like to have happen. I'm age 37. I mean, it's just so ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean, Walt has gotten just sloppy all over the place. I think this is where we're seeing Walt is breaking down. This is not the Walter White that we know. This is definitely not Heisenberg.
No.
He's a mess.
Hasn't The Wire taught you anything? Don't say anything on the phone.
Right. But Walt's not worried about it.
No.
And what we kind of see next is sort of the lead up to Hank pulling a scam on Huel.
Yes.
Which to me is a huge turning point. A, because I don't think I've ever heard Huel say more than 2 words on the show, strung together. And all of a sudden he had a whole lot to say.
Huel sounds like he has marbles in his mouth. He really does. But, I mean, when Hank showed Huel a picture of Jesse on the floor, of course a staged photo, Huel loses his mind.
Yes.
And just starts going, I didn't mean it, I don't know what happened. And then from there he just tells the whole story of the money.
Everything. And I'm like, where is Saul? Somebody better call Saul. What is going on? Huel is spilling his guts to Hank right now.
Absolutely. And Hank is deteriorating just like Walt did over the course of the show. He may not be as bad, but Hank is definitely breaking bad. He's staging scenes, he's lying to people, all in an effort to get Walt.
Right.
Hanksenberg.
Right. And so we know that this isn't going to be good because first of all, Jesse said, let's go after the one thing that I know Walt cares about more than anything else in this whole thing, and that is his money. And we know what's up with the money, but they don't know. But Huel gives them so much information that they are able to convince Walt that they actually have a line on where his money is actually located.
It was actually a fantastic plan.
It was ingenious.
I mean, because if I were Walt, I would think that they had my money too.
Absolutely.
Huel tells them, I went to Home Depot, told them where he went,
yes.
Told them I got 55-gallon black barrels,
yes.
Said I filled them up with cash. I mean, he told them every single thing
yes.
that they needed except the GPS coordinates, which Walt soon came in and filled in for them.
What I thought was really great about the way they set Walt up is Jesse calls him up and he's like, if I drop you, if you leave this phone for even a second,
right,
I will be burning all your money. And by the way, I'm going to burn $10,000 for every minute you're not here.
Yes.
That sets up such a situation where you don't even have time to think. Walt didn't even have time to reason anything out, figure out whether or not this could even be true. He just was on like, red alert. And he's racing down these Albuquerque highways trying to get exactly to where the money is.
And he knows Jesse's crazy enough to do it.
Right.
That's the other thing.
Right.
It's not like you would be listening to someone tell you, I'm going to burn tens of thousands of dollars, and just be like, that's ridiculous. I know you're not going to do that.
Right.
Jesse is crazy enough to do that. He does not care about money at this point, and Walt knows that.
Yeah. So, right. So he knows that Jesse is in a place where he will do anything to get back at Walt. So Walt races the location, and I was like, you know what? Hank is turning into Walt.
Right.
Because that was such a Walt type of plan. It was beautiful. So he gets there, and he looks like he's nervous, and he sees smoke. And I don't think they ever explained that smoke that Walt saw over the ridge that he thought was Jesse burning his money. But I kept wondering about, when did that smoke actually generate?
That was the car. That was their car coming around.
Oh.
Right, so he looks out, he sees dust, and that's when he realizes a vehicle has come into that little ravine area that they're in.
Okay.
Right.
So he calls Jack, Todd, and basically says, look, I'm here, Jesse's here, come right away. He gives them the coordinates. So we hadn't seen that lottery ticket in a while.
Right.
At last view, he'd left it on the refrigerator in his house. But it turns out he has it in his wallet. And he gives those guys the exact coordinates of where he is.
Right. And he basically tells them, come on. It looks like a couple of guys are with them. And as he's on the phone, that's when they start piling out of the car. He sees Jesse, Hank, and Gomez.
Yeah.
And then he says, do not come.
Right.
I repeat, do not come.
Yes.
Jack's on the other line, like, what are you talking about? Walt just says, do not come. He sees his brother-in-law.
Here's the thing. Walt basically loses his shit when he sees Hank get out of the car with Jesse.
Yes.
He looks like he is just done. He doesn't know what to do. He has no more ideas. He doesn't try to escape. He even calls off the hit. I think that at that moment, they had Walt for real. Because I think Walt was so shell-shocked at the idea that Jesse had talked to Hank. Remember when he first met with Jack, had the face-to-face, and Jack was like, oh, you're talking about a rat situation? He's like, rat? He's a rat? He's a rat? No way, no rat. I mean,
That's right, actually. I forgot about that.
Never believed that Jesse would turn on him and talk to Hank, ever. It was just not in his thought process.
Especially considering that Walt was just in the car with Saul and having a conversation with his own wife in the previous episode, Rabbit Dog, don't kill him, we can't kill him.
Right.
And the betrayal that he's now experiencing is just sending him into a tailspin.
Absolutely. He's been betrayed by everybody, but yet still, I thought it was interesting that he called off the hit. Because this could have been his exit, right? In one fell swoop, he could have killed everybody who knows everything and is coming after him. I mean, Marie's really not that big of a threat. He could kill Jesse and Hank and be done with it.
Right.
So I thought it was interesting that he called off the hit the minute he saw Hank, which, I think right now we're seeing, this is just Walt. There's no Heisenberg anymore. We're just seeing pure unadulterated Walt, who is struggling with his relationship with his brother-in-law. He still loves his brother-in-law. He still loves Jesse in his own way. And in his heart of hearts, he thinks he can get away with this without killing Hank, and he's even willing to give himself up to not kill Hank.
Well, we see he comes on out. I mean, Hank says, come on out. Walt comes on out. He does every single thing in lockstep that Hank asks him to do. And at some point, they have a confrontation between he and Jesse. He calls Jesse a coward. And Jesse spits on him, which is the most vile and disgusting thing that one human being can do to another. I would rather watch somebody get cut with a knife than to watch one person spit on. I just can't stand it.
Well, he was giving Jesse the angry dad face. Like that mixture of anger and disappointment.
Yes.
You know.
He was actually cracking me up because the whole time Hank was talking to him, he was looking to the side. Like, you notice that he never hit eye level with Hank.
Yeah.
He was on the side looking dead on at Jesse.
Right.
And Jesse, by the way, still looking a little scared.
Very scared.
Yes.
Very scared.
Because, I mean, Jesse
He
is...
looked like the son that, betrayed the father.
Right.
So, just when we think this is it, I mean, they put Hank in the car, he's handcuffed.
Walt in the car.
Sorry, Walt in the car, Hank is calling Marie going, I got him! Yes.
Talking about wave, baby, wave. I mean, he really thinks it's done. And then before you know it, two vehicles roll up.
Yes.
And it is Jack, Todd, and the Aryan Nation.
Right. And even at that moment, Walt is like, no, stop, don't do it. He still doesn't want anything bad to go down. But, of course, if you pull out guns on Breaking Bad, guns will be used. There's going to be no standoff.
Hank never gave his badge. Like, they never pulled their badges out. Remember Todd and Jack, Jack kept saying, prove to us that you're the police.
Yes.
And Hank was like, whatever.
Yeah.
And same with Gomez. Gomez was not putting his gun down either.
No, and of course, bullet starts to fly. Now, I am like, okay, you're in a desert. There's nothing really to hide behind. Okay, we have some vehicles. And I don't understand how they didn't shoot Hank from minute one. Because Hank was pretty much out in the open.
How did nobody get shot?
Nobody.
I mean, maybe we'll open the scene of the next episode seeing if someone got shot, but the way bullets were raining down in that scene, I was expecting at least one man to fall. Nobody fell on either side.
I was like, these semi-automatic weapons are not as effective as they are purported to be. Yeah, it was a shootout. Okay, corral. Jesse looks terrified. Walt is trying to, and we know Walt's gonna make it, right? Because we already saw the flash forward, so we know he's not going anywhere. Right. But it remains to be seen. Is Hank gonna make it through this whole episode? I don't know. We're gonna see.
Right. I'm excited to see what happens next week. Only 3 more episodes of this show, so you know a lot of activity has to happen.
Absolutely.
So make sure to come back and check out our video next week reviewing next week's episode.
Right, and watch our other videos. We're about to start Sons of Anarchy coming up this week, and we also have Mistresses and Basketball Wives.
Absolutely.
All right, everyone, have an A1 day.
Bye.